Hello friends, Amanda here. Welcome back to Handmade No Hallmark. Today I've got this fun card celebrating graduation. I made this card for my nephews. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. With graduation right around the corner, I just had to make a card for my nephews. They are graduating this year and I am so proud and excited for them that I just had to create a card just for them in their school colors. So I'm working with some craft cardstock and I'm using some VersaFine Onyx Black ink because I'm planning on using my colored pencils to color this in today. Coloring with colored pencils on craft, man, that's a tongue twister, is one of my favorite techniques, and I haven't done it in quite a while, and I figured this was a nice simple image that wouldn't take too long to do. So here you can see I wanted to fill up this whole kind of portion of the card with these celebrating hands and the hats and the diplomas. And hindsight, I probably would have added some more confetti, maybe filtered down to like where the hands are at, just to fill it in a little bit more, make it a little bit more, fun and festive. But either way, I really enjoyed this card and I loved how it turned out. And knowing that I made this for my nephews and celebrating the fact that they are graduating high school and finishing this chapter of their lives and moving on to the next is so wonderful, and I can't wait to celebrate with them this weekend, and it's just going to be a great time. So after I had all of my stamping done, I wanted to go in and add a couple of more fill-in images and that confetti in the top there. So there's an individual diploma in the stamp set, and the stamp set is called Hats Off GRAD, and it's from Simon Says Stamp. And there's a couple of like nice filler images. So I wanted to add the diploma, a couple more diplomas kind of floating in the air. I don't know why they would want to throw their diplomas, but anyway. And then I'm also going to go in with the little tiny stamp that is the confetti piece. At first I thought I lost it and I couldn't find it anywhere, but I did find it. It was stuck on an acrylic block. I don't know what happened, how it got there, but I found it. So I just went around and added that confetti. And here's where I should have maybe filtered some down, like towards the hands to kind of fill that space in. But again, either way, I love the way that the card turned out, and I really think they're going to enjoy it as well. And I'm using my Prismacolor colored pencils. You can use any color medium that you like, Copics, watercolors, anything like that, but I'm going to use my colored pencils. Now, anytime that I'm coloring on craft, I always start with a layer of white. That just helps the other colors kind of move and blend and helps kind of give some natural highlights. So I go in with the white and then I go in with my colors on top. I'm going to put on some music for you to enjoy, and once we're all finished, we'll come back and finish up the card together. once I was finished with all of the coloring, I wanted to work on my main greeting. I don't have any silver cardstock or any kind of metallic cardstock in my stash, which I find very odd. But since I don't have any, I decided to kind of create my own using embossing powder. I have some Simon Says 120-pound cardstock, and I've just marked it up with some Versamark ink. It's a nice sticky ink, and I'm covering it with some Brutus Monroe sterling silver embossing powder. This is a great way to get some more colors if you don't have them in cardstocks, but if you have them in embossing powders, because I know they make a ton of colors in embossing powder, you can really mix and match and make some really unique embellishments and things like that. So since I didn't have a silver cardstock, I wanted to use my embossing powder. So all I'm doing is just coating that, made sure I have enough space for my greeting. I'm just going to heat that up with my heat gun, and this is a really nice silver matte. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my die. This is the Congrats die from Simon Says Stamp and CZ Designs. This also comes with a like a shadow die as well, which I'm going to use also, and I'm going to cut it out of some just plain white cardstock. So I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine, and you can see that it does cut beautifully over top of that embossing powder. No issues whatsoever, and it looks really, really nice. One of my favorite techniques. I've done this several times. I think I've done it a couple of times in Christmas cards, so it's a really fun technique. Now that I have all my elements ready, we can start assembling the card. I've got a top folding A2 size card base out of some Simon Says 120-pound cardstock, and I'm just going to score it in half and use my bone folder to flatten that down. I also cut the main piece down a little bit so I could add a blue matte. My nephew's school colors are blue and white, so I really wanted to incorporate those colors into their graduation card. I had a little bit of a hangover here. I just wanted to trim that off just so everything was nice and even, and I can glue everything down. Just going to be using my Barely Arts liquid adhesive to attach this today. And I am very excited to go down and celebrate with them this weekend. They live in Maryland, so we're going to get to spend quite some time with them, to drive down there and see and visit and celebrate their graduation with them and their friends. So it's going to be a really fun time. I can't believe that they're graduating already. I remember when they were born, so it's going to be a pretty emotional day, I think, for everybody. Just going to layer those up on top of each other, and they look great. And here you can see I've got my die cut pieces, and I did cut an extra piece out of white just to add some more strength and sturdiness to this die cut, just because it is a little bit on the thinner side. I just wanted to give it some stability and kind of pop it up a little bit. I only did 2 layers though. I usually do 3, but I wanted to keep it kind of a lower profile. I'm not really too concerned, and they're gonna love it either way. And I'm trying my best to keep the glue off of the embossing powder, or the embossing section, because it does have a tendency to show the glue if you get it kind of on your fingers. Next, I'm going to attach it to the shadow piece of the die, and I just cut that out of the same 120-pound cardstock, and I'm going to add it right underneath where those hands are, which I think is really great. Now, you could easily have stamped this way down on the bottom and done a ton of hats all on the top, but I really wanted to add this congrats in here, and it fits beautifully underneath those hands, and I think it looked fantastic. And I also wanted to add a complimentary greeting to go with it, and this stamp set comes with lots of really great ones. I did the You Made It, and I'm going to use some black cardstock, and I'm going to use that same Brutus Monroe sterling silver embossing powder to heat emboss that as well. I think the black goes well, goes with the outline on the images. It doesn't kind of pull away from it too much. I had thought about doing white, but I already had a lot of white on the card, and I had a lot of blue, so I felt like the black was a nice kind of contrast. Doesn't really take away from the greeting at all, or the imagery. And I'm just going to cut that out using a simple banner die from my stash. And I'm going to get that adhered down using some foam strips. I was planning on putting this card out over the weekend, but I ended up getting kind of preoccupied. You know, it was Mother's Day weekend, and I went and got some more flowers for my garden and just spent the day with the kids and had a really nice time, and kind of got distracted by all that. So that's why I didn't have any cards planned for this weekend, or I didn't get any posted for this weekend. Got kind of busy, but got lots planned for this week. Love how this turns out. Looks so great. I love the colors here. And you could make a lot of these cards. If you didn't want to do the colored pencils, that's, you know, you can easily just do a simple color medium. And you could crank out a lot of these cards for the different schools in your area. If you have, you know, different family members who go to different schools, you could easily make some nice cards with these. And it's really simple design, simple coloring, simple greeting, you know, put it together really quickly. Lastly, I wanted to go in and add just a little bit of shine to the card to add to the silver that was in the greeting. I'm adding these Doris silver sequins. They're little silver stars, one of my favorite embellishments. And I felt like it was a nice touch to this card. Adds just a little bit of shine, and I think it goes well with the celebration, and it's, you know, they're not too girly, so really nice touch. And it's sparkly. I had to add a little bit of sparkle to a card. I can't not add it to a card. Once I'm happy with the amount of sequins I've added here, I am going to stamp a greeting on the inside of the card. It's also from the same set. It says, "Good luck on your new adventure." And I tried to freehand stamp it, and I really shouldn't have. I should have waited for those sequins to dry, and I should have gone in with my MISTI, but I was kind of in a hurry and I didn't stamp it really well. But I know my nephews won't mind at all. They're not really bothered by those sorts of things. And again, it's not really that big of a deal. If I'm really concerned about it, I can just go over it with a pen when I, you know, write a greeting on the inside, and it'll be fine. And here's where I should have waited for those stars to dry, because they flew all over the place and I had them everywhere. But I got them fixed back up, back into their place, and everything was just fine. And that will finish up this card for today. I really hope you enjoyed this graduation celebration card. For all of the grads out there, congratulations and good luck on your new adventure. And I can't wait to share with you guys some more videos here at my YouTube channel. If you liked the video, please consider hitting the like button as well as the subscribe so you don't miss out on any more videos here at my YouTube channel. Hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see ya. Bye.
On screen, I've got a few videos that I think you'll enjoy. Consider hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more videos at my YouTube channel.